So in this video, we will be discussing about extracting the jar file using Eclipse environment. So to demonstrate this, we will be discussing the example of word count program using MapReduce. Okay, to demonstrate the word count program, we need a jar file for executing the same in the Hadoop environment. So now we will see how to extract the jar file for a word count program, right? So open your Eclipse environment. According to your system environment, you can download this Eclipse environment and then you can open it. So this is an environment which is used for Java development, right? So under this we need to create a new project. So you can see file, which is in the left hand side corner menu. So click file. Under this, the first option, new, right? So we can create many different things using this project. So now we are going to create a Java project, right? So I'm creating a Java project. I repeat, file. Under file we need to click new. So in new we need to click Java project, right? So once you click new Java project, it will be asking you the project name, right? So let's say I am giving the project name as word count. Word count lab. Okay, now I have given the name. Just after giving the name, give finish, right? So once you have given finish, your project, that is your Java project, has been created. Okay, so here you can see the Java project has been created successfully. Once you have created, here you can see the repositories, JRE system library, and then source folder. By default it will be creating, right? So now we have created a project. Now to demonstrate this word count program, we are going to demonstrate this with the help of three different classes. So I am going to use a mapper class, a reducer class, and then a driver class. Okay, so these are the three different classes I'm going to use for demonstrating the word count program. Okay, so now for that we need to create three different classes. So first we will create a class. So how to create a class? In your project, right? Right click and then again new. Okay, so now create a class. So here we need to give the name for the class. Okay, so if you are following my tutorial for developing, right, so you should use the same name which I have given, because the code which I have given in the description, right, I have used this class name in my code. If you are using the same name, then only you can export, if you are following the tutorial for code also. Okay, now I am going to create a mapper class, right? So I am using the name called DC mapper. Okay, so note here, I have used DCM as uppercase and then the remaining are lowercase, right? So since Java is a case sensitive, so you need to uh, be aware of this case sensitive letters. Okay, so once you have given the class name, give finish. Okay, so if you have created that one, so here you can see the class name dot java, it has been created. Again here in the code also you can see whatever the name you have given, no, the same it is coming. Okay, so in Java we will be using the class name as the file name. So here you can see file name dot java. So that while we are giving the name, whatever the name which we are giving inside the code, the same name we need to create the class. Okay, so I have created one class. The same procedure I need to follow for the next class. So right click new. In new I am creating a class. Okay, so here in the class name, now I am giving uh, word count wc. Already I have created mapper, now I am creating reducer, right? So now I have created a class called reducer. So okay, so finish. So now I have created two classes. So one is the mapper class, the another one is the reducer class. Okay, now the next class also we are going to create the same procedure. So right click, new class. So now word count driver. So now in my case I'm using this class as the main class. So all the classes are same only. The class which has the main function we will be considering as a main. So in my code I have treated this WC as the main class. Okay. So while executing this program in Hadoop environment, I am going to use this class name as my program name for executing the same. Okay. So now I am creating the next class. So now I have created three different classes. Okay. So the next important thing that we are going to do is, so as for this demonstration, as I said earlier, we are going to do MapReduce word count. To do that, we need some external libraries which are not part of Java. Okay. So we need the Hadoop libraries. So we are going to import those libraries to our project first. Okay. So for that, what you need to do, again right click your project. So you can see a option called build path. Okay, build path. Under build path you need to click on configure build path. I repeat, we are going to import external libraries. For that, right click your project, go to build path, and then configure build path. So if you click configure build path, here it will be navigating to different options: source, project, libraries, and then other exports, right? So you need to click on libraries. So once you click on library, here you can see add jars, add external jars, right? So in this we are going to choose add external jars. Click on external jars. So now my external jar files are in my Hadoop environment. I have installed the Hadoop in C drive. Inside C drive, I am having a folder called Hadoop. Okay, inside Hadoop, you need to go to share. Under share, another one directory called Hadoop. So here you can see different folders. In this, we are going to take the jar files from common folder as well as MapReduce folder, right? So first I will take from the common folder. So once I open common folder, here you can see three jar files. So I am choosing this and then opening. Okay, I have added. Again, repeating the same for MapReduce folder also. So now I have completed for common. Now I am choosing from MapReduce. So I am choosing all the jar files. So here it is not mandatory to choose all the jar files. You can choose the essential jar files. Okay. So if you are not aware which jar files you need to select for which code, so it is better that you can choose all the jar files whenever your code is running. No, at that time, whichever the jar file required as a library, that alone it will be considered. Okay. So I am choosing all the jar files. Okay. Now apply and close. So once you done, here you can see the referenced library. Whatever the jar files that we have chosen, everything it will come here. Right here you can see all the jar files are coming here. Here you can see the path C colon Hadoop share Hadoop common. So these three are belongs to common, and then these are belongs to MapReduce folder. So now all the libraries are ready. Now what we need to do, we need to write the code. So we need to write the mapper code here, reducer code here, and then the driver code here. Okay. So you don't worry about the code. I have added the code in the description. You can take that code. Okay. So now I'm copying the mapper code, and then giving in the mapper class. Okay. So now in the mapper class, already the class has been created. Just delete it, because in my code itself I am having the class. See here, I have already given the class. Okay. And then the next one is reducer class. So we will copy the code of reducer class. So same I am repeating here. Then we need to copy the code of driver. So I'm just copying the code of driver class. So now we have coded all the three classes, right? So once you have given all the three codes, right? So now your code is ready for exporting the jar file. Before that, verify whether any errors are there, right? So here, if any errors are there, here you can able to see the red color marks. Again, see here I am encountering one error. So let's see what error it is. So rename wc mapper.java. So here it is giving some error. Yeah, see here I have created a class called mapper, but I have named that file as dc mapper, so it is showing an error for me. Okay, so for that reason only, while we are creating the name, we should be clear. So in my code I have given wc mapper, while I'm creating I have created dc mapper.java. Okay, so the name mismatch, so it is showing an error. So what I will do, I will delete this class. Just I will delete this DC mapper, and then I will create a new class. So we can rename it, right? So if you are renaming, all the places we need to rename. So if you want to rename, you can rename and then you can do. So for your understanding, just I'm creating the new class with the same name, right? So WC mapper. So I'm creating the class. Now I have created the class, and then I'm copying the code of mapper. Yeah, so now it is not throwing any error in it is not showing any error in mapper. Driver no error, reducer no error, right? So if any errors are there, first we need to clear that error, right? So once this process is done, now our code is ready for exporting the jar file. Okay, so now once it is done, just right click on your project, right? Here you can see export, right? Click on export. So it will be navigating to a environment like this. Yes, export environment. In this, we are going to export our code as a jar file. So jar file will be available as in Java directory. You maximize this Java directory, you can see jar file java doc, right? So in this, choose jar file and then click next, right? And then here you can choose the directory where you want to store. So I am storing this in the desktop, saving it, right? So I am giving the name as lab1.java jar. Okay, so click OK. Now your jar file has been downloaded. Now we will go to desktop and then we will check. Yeah, here you can see lab1.jar file, it has been exported. Okay, so this file now we can use for MapReduce program running using Hadoop environment. Okay, thank you.